The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back into it, back at it. You found The Local Show. It's the last bastion of great quality talk radio.
It is the last bastion of quality talk radio, Tom. I have no doubt it is.
It's like that because of Steve.
Yes, sure.
We appreciate that.
Sure. I counted the words on the average show. You talk like 4 times more words than I have, Tom.
Right, and I make 4 times as less money.
That's right.
So
You do.
That's the way
You're
it
in
should
charge.
be, right?
Yep, and you get paid every week your little stipend.
Good golly. Bob Malta's with us right now. He can't relate to anything because he's actually successful. He's the owner of Slot Car Central, slotcarcentral.com if you want to follow along on the internet. How are you doing there, Bob?
I am better than I deserve. Thank you.
Great. Bob and I are around the same age, and you're Italian, so we have a lot in common in that way. Have you watched on Netflix the show Nona?
We did.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Yeah, with Vince Vaughn.
It was interesting. I mean, the hype was a little bit more than how it was.
Yes.
And It was a little bit PC in place where the wife and I kind of looked at each other and said, did this need to... But overall...
Yeah,
I liked it.
But
I ate a little. I went for snacks a couple times. So I try to avoid movies with a lot of pasta.
My favorite part was when the girl said to him, "This is the scungile. I got 9 cloves of garlic in it." And I thought I can totally relate to that.
100%.
Anyway, so Bob, what is it that you do, and what is it that you've done?
Oh, I suppose in general, I play with toys, big toys, little toys, anything with wheels or a motor, I'm attracted to. Never really been one to grow up. I had a few careers that did well, so for the last 15 or 20 years, I pretty much do what I want. The wife is still suspiciously happy, so life goes on.
Nice. At one point, you were into the computer world during the when things went away from mainframes and people were building PCs. You were selling them, right?
So after I got out of college, I tried to catch a wave.
Yeah.
Got into the PCs, got into the Macintoshes that were very good to me for a long time until that business kind of ran its course.
Yeah.
And then I got into collecting real estate, hyper renovating, mostly Victorians and mid-centuries on the north side. On the north side,
yes.
Salina to Midland,
a lot of those
was kind
over there.
of my area.
Yeah.
And that led into one thing, led into another, and I ended up with my building on Teal. And
Iconic people that will know his building. And you're hearing, I don't know who this guy is. It's got a car on the roof next to the Lincourt Bakery. The building with a car on the roof, that's you.
Vis-a-vis Genesee Street.
Okay.
Remember back in the day, the Mini Cooper was on the roof?
Don't remember that.
So there was an import dealer down by the Chrysler dealer, by the Cadillac area.
Okay.
And they sold MGBs and TR6s, and they had a giant as a statue, as a sign.
Like Paul Bunyan thing?
Like Paul Bunyan holding a Mini Cooper.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
And then a few years ago, there was, over by the regional market, there was a body shop that put an old Cadillac.
I remember that.
A 70, maybe an 80s Cadillac.
I do remember that.
So nothing's new, right?
Right, yeah.
So I just happen to have a Saab.
How'd you get it up there?
So it's kind of a long story, and it usually involves customers. I have a couple customers that are very adept at things, and one customer says, I could build you a frame for that. I could put that on the roof. I go, get out of here. You can't put it on the roof. He says, I'm telling you. So he came back a couple times, and he says, I'm telling you, I can put that car on the roof. Yeah. Well, let me get in touch with Salina, see if they say okay.
Yeah.
Salina said okay, and so we cut up a car, and we built the Saabs from the early 70s. That 74 Saab Sonnet were fiberglass bodies.
Okay.
So we essentially built a space frame to fit the building, then cut the body to fit the frame, and then put the frame up, brought the piece of the body up. We have just race clips that hold it on.
Yeah.
It's lit up for at night.
Why did you do that?
Thank you, Tom.
So why?
So like, why?
So,
Just to get...
And what is your building for?
The
What do you
real
do there?
answer?
Yeah.
Been married 38 years. I had a parts car behind the garage. The wife swore I would never do anything with.
Oh, so this is almost kind of a bet sort of thing.
It's just a small win. You get these small wins over the time. And I just thought it was a crazy thing to do. And if you look closely at the car, there's actually pickup shoes and a guide pin.
Okay,
those are indicative of slot cars. So it's really a large, and if you go inside, there's a starter button hanging from the ceiling that the kids can press, and it honks the horn.
So tell people, what is a slot car and what you do in your building right there with the Saab on top.
So electric slot race cars started in the late 50s, became real popular in the mid 60s with the car culture. Essentially, there's 3 or 4 different scales of toys that you put on a track, you squeeze a trigger, and they go around the track. For the
so much fun, Tom.
Yes.
A good time for kids.
Yes.
Physics, mechanics, aerodynamics, hand-eye coordination, patience. You can teach kids incredible lessons through slot cars. So through a kid wanting to beat you, they figure out ways to
So what's
clean
the first
tires.
thing a kid puts a car in the track? What happens first?
If it's a boy, he squeezes the trigger, it goes into the wall. You tell him to slow down, he squeezes the trigger and goes into the wall. I've had 4 or 5-year-old girls that get on that track and just start driving.
Okay.
Girls are much more patient, so they say. Girls are a little more subtle, a little more patient. Boys, generally, we squeeze the trigger.
This would be fun for grandparents. This would be a fun thing. You know what? Hey,
100%.
Kids, we got some time. I set this thing up. Let's give it a try. How is that not totally engaging?
And I have grandparents come in and say, I want to buy it, especially the guys, I want to buy a track for the kids.
Wink, wink.
Your story is good with me and I can help. Yes.
Are they still making them today?
A couple, there's a couple manufacturers. AFX has been around forever. Auto World is another one. There's a few that do it. There's still one. So I do mostly the HO scale, which is about the size of a matchbox car.
Gotcha.
There's also the larger ones, 1/32nd scale. It's called the home scale. And then 1/24th is the bigger ones, the size of your hand or larger. There's a place up in Salve called Speedy's that you can race those. And when you pull into the parking lot, you hear what sounds like 1,000 hornets.
Really?
And you walk into the place, and it is a sound, the smells of the racing oil. It's really something to see. And people go with their wooden tackle boxes with their cars from the 60s, 70s, modern cars
What kind of cool hobby, huh?
It's a wonderful hobby. It's never gone out of style. It's one of the few hobbies that hasn't gone away. It's one of the few hobbies that are still relevant for us older guys, playing with our... A couple times a year, we'll have father, son, grandson, father, daughter, grandson. 3, 4. At one time, a couple years ago, we had 4 generations racing around.
Talk old toys for 35 seconds.
Sure. What do you want to know? I love.
So you collect and sell old Americana? Would that be correct? And toys?
I sell in order to buy.
You sell in order to buy. Okay. Well,
For yourself,
unpack that a little bit.
No.
And where can people find you?
I guess what I like to do, right up to full-scale cars, is I like to find something old and give it a new chance at being appreciated for another 20, 30, 50 years.
No, I got a guy, Steve. You can take him.
You can rehabilitate him somehow.
So slotcarcentral.com is the website.
Yes.
Can they see the toys there or just the slot cars?
For the most part, everything I do is slot cars. But if someone's toys are an adjunct to that, I end up with, I try to get in the way of the dump. So anything, especially made in USA, Italy, something that's not made in China, something with a story, I like to
someone says, hey,
relevant.
I've got a bunch of old toys. They're in the garage. They were my parents. They were mine. I don't know if they're worth anything. Give you a call. Is that fair?
I'm an expert on my own opinion.
Okay, 315-214-4792. Write that down, 214-4792. They can say, what about this toy? What about that? To get the information. Bob, thanks for joining us today.
Glad to do it. Have fun, guys.